Hey there guys, so today I'm going to be tying a werewolf hair perch. This guy comes in at just about 6 inches long. It's got a bunch of flashabou running through it, some fluorescent orange bucktail on the bottom, and some, I think these might be 7mm fish skull eyes in earth or wind, I can't remember. Anywho, let's get to it. Alright, so the hook that I have in the vise right now is a 1.0 Daiichi saltwater hook. So we're going to right now start a thread right by the bend in the hook. Put a few wraps there. Gonna cut off our excess. Build up a little more. Alright, what was I looking for now? See, I haven't tied this guy in a while, so I'm having to remember how. Alright, flashabou now. If I can correctly remember where it went, here we go. And move my flashabou into a corner because it's just getting way too messy. Alright, so I've taken about 4 strands of flashabou. This is in rainbow. So we're going to take this. We're going to then double it over so that makes a nice big loop. We're going to take that, cut them right in half. Now I've got 8 little strands. So we got that. I'm going to pull our thread out a little bit and wrap them around that. So that it goes off the back. I'm going to put a few wraps on top, one underneath, then over again. So that's all coming off the back here. Make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, okay. Then we're going to take some, where'd it go? Find it, here we go. Some ultra wire, size, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Ultra wire, size small, in copper. I'm gonna take out, oh, I don't know, 3-4 inches of it. No, you won't need 3. Yeah, you take about 3 inches or so. Alright, we're going to take that here, lay that right on top of the hook shank. Bind that down. And all the way, you want just a little bit there. Alright, then we're going to take some rubber legs. These are barred, just normal white and black. I'm gonna cut off a section, or cut out one leg. I'm going to again lay that right on top of the hook shank. Going to tie that down. Alright, now that's done, we're going to make closed wraps down the hook shank. We're going to go, take a while because this is a pretty big hook. It's long, and so it just takes a while. Alright, now that we're about 2 eye lengths behind the eye, I'm going to, if I can find it, here we go, get it untangled. Alright, we're going to take these rubber legs, stretch them out, and run all the way down the hook shank. This part's gonna take some time, but just be patient and you'll be fine. Pull my thread a little bit, there we go. So the reason that I'm using rubber legs for this is because I just didn't have any other material the day I was tying this fly. I didn't have like anything close at hand. It's just sort of messing around, and this was the first things that this was the first material that my hands could find. So, hang on. Let's back a little bit, maybe that'll get better focus. Yeah, not really. Yeah, anywho, okay. Alright, now we've reached the thread. I'm going to capture these rubber legs here. This rubber leg, I mean. Alright, and this section here is still long enough so we can save that for another fly. Alright, now we're going to take this copper wire and do open spiral wraps down these over these rubber legs. The reason being that I chose wire to put over this was just because, heck, why not? We'll give it a little extra weight, not much, but just a little bit. Alrighty. So that's done now. We can clip off that wire. Do all that. Take a look at this. Okay. So now we're going to take our werewolf hair. This stuff comes from Frankenfly, I believe. Yeah, I got this stuff off J. Stockard Fly Fishing. It's an amazing site. Prices are unbelievable. It's fast, and I just really love it. This stuff, I said, the werewolf hair comes from Frankenfly. Paul Beal, I think, was the guy that made it. So, anyhow, all right. So we take there's a lot of just random things of spare wool that's in this, and so I like to pull that out. I don't personally like it, honestly. It just gets kind of buggy and poofs up all over the place. So we're gonna pull that out and then lay this right on top of the hook here. Gonna capture that with our thread. You don't want it to roll around. You want it to stay flat right on top. We're going to go down the shank just a little bit so that now our thread's roughly an eye length from right behind the eye. Then we're going to pull our thread back there so that we've got our first thing of hair here. We've got our thread right in front of it. We're going to pull the other segment of werewolf hair back so that it goes right over top. Alrighty, there, that's done now. So, can pull all that back. I like to sort of twist it around and really pull it. That way it can take on the shape that we want and it'll get any loose fibers out. Alrighty, let me take a look at this guy real quick. Alright, now we take some fluorescent orange bucktail. Oh jeez. Take some fluorescent orange bucktail here. And we're gonna select some nice long fibers. I want them typically, if I'm tying in bucktail from the bottom of the hook shank, I like it to have just a slight little curve to it. That way it sort of comes up towards the back. Because if you look at a fish, they're almost like a football. So their nose at the beginning is narrow, and it slowly gets wider, and then it tapers back again. So that's what I personally like my flies to be. So when I'm using bucktail and I'm tying it at the bottom, I like it to have a little tiny curve to it. Not much, but just a little bit. And this bucktail here, I got this one from White River Fly Shop in Cabela's. So it's pretty good. So I'm going to grab the middle area here, and then I'm going to pull out at the bottom, try and get any small fibers that I don't want. Then we're going to measure it up, find out find roughly where we want it to be, and we're going to take it and push the hook point right through the center of it all, pull it back, and then capture it right in front of that big bump from the werewolf hair that we tied in earlier. So now, if you can see, that's all coming together nicely. We've got all this stuff here up at the front. So you don't want that, you want it to evenly sort of roll around here on the bottom. You don't want it to go up on the top. That's just gonna mess the look up. So now that we've got like half an eye length right in front, or right behind the eye, so we're going to clipped off that extra bucktail there, and we're then going to cover all of the rest of this bucktail up here with thread wraps. So you've noticed, I'm sure, that there's like this big area of the head. You might be wondering why. On earth are we gonna get that fixed? And my answer, a lot of Loon's thick UV clear fly finish, great stuff. It's expensive, but wonderful. All right, so now that we've got the head all built up and stuff, we're done with our thread. So we can pull our thread out, whip finish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns, pull it off, cinch, clip. All right, now we're going to take some thin UV resin. This that I'm using right here is just a thin stuff that I got from Amazon when I was first starting out. Pull off some nasties. So I can't right now remember the brand. Doesn't say on the bottle either, unfortunately. But it was cheap. I was just starting out. So, all right, we're gonna lay a little dollop right on top of the head there. Hit it with our light for just a second. All right, now we're going to take some Flyman Fishing Co. Fish Skull Living Eyes. These are 7mm size in wind. So we're going to take one eye off. I like to lay my fly flat. We're going to take our thin UV resin, put a little dollop on the eye itself, spread around so that's covering roughly the entire surface area of the eye, and then we're going to place it right in the head there where there's that hump from the werewolf hair, so that it just barely covers up some of that bucktail and the hump. Hit it with our light underneath, over the top. All right, now I've got one eye on there, and that's not really glued down well. So we're going to, oh geez, there it went. We're gonna try that again. All right. So I like to sort of cover the back of it up some. And hit it with my light. However, for some reason, my things never like to stick. Ever. All right. Take that eye again. Never mind, it's covered in junk. All right, we're gonna pitch that one. Let's try this again. All right, take our eye, dollop of glue. This time we'll try on the other side. All right, gonna barely hold that down with my fingernail. hit it with my light. That's pretty decent. Gonna put a little more glue on the inside. Hit that with my light as well. That set a lot better. Alrighty. So there. Got the eye, got one eye on. This normally is what takes the longest amount of time. It's the most tedious, just because I want my eyes to set perfectly. I'm kind of picky that way. So, yeah. Alright, we're gonna grab our other eye now. Again, dollop of glue. Want those to set as evenly as possible. Now, it doesn't matter a whole lot if it doesn't set perfectly. I mean, I don't think the fish really care. Alright, so now I've got two eyes on. I'm going to lay it on its side, put a little bit of glue from the eye onto the head. There's this little extra bit of space where there's a thread here in the eye. I put just a little bit of glue from the eye onto that bit of thread. That way it stays there. That way it sits and sticks better. Here with my light again. Alright, now we should be done with, I think we're done with the thin stuff. Alright, now we're going to take our thick Loon UV resin. It takes a little bit to sort of come out, so I'm going to, oh, sweet tubes. Sorry. Alright. So, still waiting for it to come out right now. But when it does, you want to have it right at the base of the eyes to the head, or to the thread. Then we just fill up that little cavity between the eyes. Just fill that up. With resin. Not only does that really solidify the eyes to the rest of the fly, but it also solidifies them together and makes a nice big head. So you really, when you're using a ton of glue like I am, then you have to leave your light on there for a while, just so that it really gets a nice solid cure. So normally I like to leave it for about 10 seconds. I think that's a pretty decent time. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to take a little bit more of our thin stuff and put it on the bottom of the head. So, right there. That, because we haven't hit that area yet with anything, and so it gives that area a little more solidification, I guess is the word. So, but there we go. Now you can take that out of your vise, and then I'm honestly pretty happy with the way this turned out so far, but we're not quite done yet. So take it, but apparently I guess we are. I don't know, here it is. Alright, so now you put it back, take your trusty black Sharpie marker, stick that back in my vise for a minute. You got it all brushed out. Now we're gonna put the finishing touches on it. We're gonna take our trusty black Sharpie, turn it just on its side. Take it. We're gonna go about one of our eyes here. Right behind that eye, we're gonna draw a heavy black stripe. And draw our black stripe number 1. And go over the orange bucktail a little bit, not too much. No, actually, yeah, go over the entire thing. So pull all the materials back so that they're all nice and tight, and give her a nice big stripe. So yeah, then once you've done that, you can add more stripes if you want, but one's enough for me. So yeah, there's the little werewolf hair perch. If you don't have any of this stuff, then you really need to go buy some. It's really nice. It's thick. Most of it's synthetic. There's a bit of sheep's wool in it, I think is what it was. I'm not sure. Go look it up. Also, go check out J Stalker. They're absolutely amazing. I get all of my stuff there all the time. Like I said, the prices are great. They've got just about everything under the sun, from vises to little glass beads. Got a few kits, I think. Fly line leader. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching this video.